Video games. Hey, they're a part of life. We all know that. But what happens if video games turn your life upside down? Can that happen? Well, that brings us to this week's case. It involves an attorney in Pennsylvania. The man was someone who had been practicing for a period of time. He primarily dealt with divorces, domestic relations, and bankruptcy. Well, unfortunately, he's going through a stressful time in his life, and let's face the facts. The practice of law is very stressful, very stressful. People depend on lawyers to get it absolutely right. Lawyers understand that. Law schools really enforce that. And long story short, attorneys are under tremendous amount of stress to be 100%, 110% accurate all the time. Well, in addition to trying to practice, he also, as the court later pointed out, was having a troubled home life. Well, what did the guy do? Well, he didn't turn to alcohol, he didn't turn to drugs, he didn't turn to anything else that many times gets people into big problems, but what he did do is he became fixated on video games. Found he was playing video games all the time, and he used these video games as a basic way to get away from all of these stresses in life. And he did that to the detriment of his clients because he stopped working on his clients' cases. Clients complained, he didn't do anything. Clients complained some more, he still didn't do anything. Started filing bar complaints. The bar then started to take a look at this. A committee investigated him and found, hey buddy, this has way gotten out of hand. You are no longer even engaged in any kind of practice of law. You're spending the majority of your time, practically every day, all of the time, playing video games. This has become an absolute addiction to you. You can't serve the public in the practice of law, and therefore, Pennsylvania Supreme Court found he was suspended from the practice of law for 3 years, and he agreed that before he would go back to practicing law, that he would have to show that he could get through life without an addiction to video games. Well, what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of this case? What do we learn from this case? Well, we learn a couple of things. One, we learn that the state bar is there. State bar is there in every state, all 50 states, to see that people who go to lawyers for services are getting those services. That means if you're not getting a response from your lawyer, when you call him, when you email him, when you try and get in touch, and nothing seems to be happening, you can always go to the state bar. State bar will begin an investigation. Let me tell you this. When a lawyer gets a complaint from the state bar, he or she pays lots of attention to it immediately. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Second thing it points out is that if you aren't getting response from your attorney, best thing to do is, worst case situation, complain to the state bar. But before doing that, a little bit of advice, write the attorney a letter. Send him or her an email so that that person knows that you have a major concern with what's taking place in your case. It's your case. You have a right to know what's going on. You have a right to a reasonable explanation as to where the case is and what can be expected. Okay, well, we bring you this case as we bring you cases every week so you understand how the law works so you can make the law work for you. I'm David Allen.